Welcome back, truth seekers and curious minds, to another episode of Broadcasting Seeds, where we plant the seeds of wonder and dig deep into the soil of the strange and unexplained. I'm your host, Bennett Tanton, and today we're diving into a topic that sits at the very intersection of conspiracy, paranormal phenomena, and military secrecy. Buckle up, because we're about to unravel the enigma of the Phantom Unit, a supposed special operations group trained not just by the finest military minds, but by forces beyond our understanding. Are they wielding technology from the stars, or dabbling in the dark arts? Or is it all just an elaborate myth? Grab your tinfoil hats and your holy water, folks. This is going to be a wild ride. Now, before we jump into the thick of it, let's set the stage a little. Imagine a world where the boundaries between the known and the unknown are blurred, where elite soldiers are equipped not just with cutting-edge weapons, but also with knowledge and tools from realms beyond our reality. This is the world of the Phantom Unit. Today, we'll peel back the layers of secrecy and see if we can find the roots of truth amidst the forest of speculation. We'll be exploring 5 case segments today. First, we'll take a trip back in time to look at the historical foundations of special operations and their intriguing intersections with paranormal research. Then, we'll hear from the whistleblowers and insiders who claim to have glimpsed the shadowy world of the Phantom Unit. Next, we'll delve into the mind-bending technologies that some say are out of this world, literally. After that, we'll examine specific missions and operations that hint at something beyond the ordinary. And finally, we'll venture into the realms of religion and spirituality to see if there's a connection between the Phantom Unit and demonic or divine influences. So get comfortable, maybe grab a cup of coffee or something stronger if you need it, and let's dive into the mysteries of the Phantom Unit. All right, let's get started. All right, folks, let's set our time machines to the early days of special operations. To understand the concept of a Phantom Unit, we need to delve into the historical intersections of military prowess and the paranormal. Picture this. World War II is raging, and amidst the chaos, both Allied and Axis powers are scrambling not just for technological superiority, but also for any edge that might turn the tide of war, even if it means dabbling in the unknown. During World War II, the Nazis were notorious for their obsession with the occult. Heinrich Himmler, one of Hitler's top henchmen, was deeply involved in esoteric practices, believing that ancient relics and supernatural forces could grant them power. This wasn't just a movie plot from Indiana Jones, folks. The Nazis had entire departments dedicated to exploring these dark arts. They scoured the globe for artifacts like the Holy Grail and the Spear of Destiny, convinced that these items could secure their dominance. But the Allies weren't sitting idle either. They launched their own initiatives to investigate and sometimes counter these esoteric efforts. Enter the world of Project Blue Book and the OSS, the Office of Strategic Services, predecessor to the CIA. The OSS engaged in its own unconventional methods, including the exploration of psychic phenomena and remote viewing. Remote viewing, for those unfamiliar, is the practice of seeking impressions about a distant or unseen target using extrasensory perception, ESP. Sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi novel, right? But it was very real and taken quite seriously. Fast forward to the Cold War era, and you'll find the U.S. military and intelligence agencies diving even deeper into the paranormal pool. The CIA's Stargate project, for instance, wasn't about interstellar travel, but about harnessing psychic abilities for intelligence gathering. Soldiers were trained to use remote viewing to locate Soviet missile sites and POW camps. And you know what's wild? They actually had some success stories, which is why funding continued for years. Now, imagine the potential military applications of such abilities in the hands of an elite special operations group. If you're sending in a team for a high-stakes mission, wouldn't it be advantageous if they could anticipate enemy movements through psychic intuition, or if they had access to technologies beyond our current understanding? This is where the seeds of the Phantom Unit were planted, within these secretive and sometimes bizarre military programs. But it wasn't just about psychic powers. There were whispers about mind control experiments too. Projects like MKUltra sought to unlock the secrets of controlling the human mind, often through dubious and unethical means. What if, instead of just controlling the mind, these experiments aimed to unlock hidden potentials or to communicate with entities beyond our realm? Some insiders suggest that these projects didn't end, but evolved, blending with special operations to create units capable of extraordinary feats. So, we've got a historical foundation built on the blend of military strategy and paranormal investigation. From the Nazi occult hunts to the CIA's psychic spies, the groundwork was laid for a unit that could operate in the shadows, leveraging both human and otherworldly capabilities. It's a heady mix of fact, speculation, and a dash of conspiracy. In our next segment, we'll turn the spotlight on the whistleblowers, those brave or perhaps foolhardy souls who claim to have insider knowledge of the Phantom Unit. What have they seen? What do they know? And more importantly, can we believe them? Stay tuned as we venture further into the murky waters of military secrecy and the supernatural. Welcome back, curious minds. As we peel back the layers of secrecy surrounding the Phantom Unit, we now turn our attention to those who claim to have seen the shadowy specter firsthand, whistleblowers. These individuals risk it all to share their stories, often facing ridicule, career jeopardy, and sometimes worse. But their testimonies provide the tantalizing glimpses we need to separate fact from fiction. Let's start with John Ramirez, a former CIA officer who worked in the Directorate of Science and Technology. Ramirez has come forward with startling claims about a covert group that operates beyond the reach of traditional military oversight. According to him, this unit, let's call it the Phantom Unit for our purposes, is composed of operatives who have undergone specialized training, not only in advanced combat techniques, but also in what can only be described as paranormal tactics. Ramirez recounts a mission briefing where operatives were instructed on how to use telepathic communication in the field, supposedly to maintain silent coordination during covert operations. Sounds like science fiction, right? But Ramirez insists it was very real. Then there's Captain Helen Masters, a former Air Force intelligence officer. Masters claims to have encountered the Phantom Unit during a joint operation in the Middle East. She describes an incident where, During a high-stakes mission, her team was ambushed by insurgents. Out of nowhere, a group of unmarked soldiers appeared, seemingly predicting every move the enemy made. Masters was convinced they were using some form of advanced sensory perception. When she tried to dig deeper, she was met with a wall of silence and a not-so-subtle warning to cease her inquiries. These accounts aren't isolated. Dr. Michael Cremo, a researcher in forbidden archaeology, suggests that these whistleblower testimonies could be the tip of the iceberg. Cremo points out that throughout history, there have been numerous instances where elite units employed unorthodox methods that might be considered paranormal by today's standards. Whether it's the samurai's meditative combat techniques or the Viking berserker's trance-like rage, there's precedent for blending the mystical with the martial. But let's not get carried away just yet. We need to consider the possibility of disinformation. Could these whistleblowers be part of a deliberate effort to muddy the waters? Governments have been known to use misinformation as a tool to obscure the truth. Remember the UFO sightings during the Cold War? Some were genuine, but many were strategically leaked falsehoods to mislead adversaries. So, we have to ask, are these whistleblowers genuine, or are they part of an elaborate smokescreen? Their stories are consistent and compelling, but without concrete evidence, we tread the fine line between credulity and skepticism. What we do know is that their testimonies add a layer of depth to the Phantom Unit narrative, suggesting a world where the lines between military precision and paranormal prowess blur. In our next segment, we'll delve into the technologies that these whistleblowers claim are used by the Phantom Unit. Are we talking about alien tech, advanced human inventions, or something else entirely? Stay with us as we continue to uncover the secrets of the Phantom Unit. All right, truth seekers, welcome back. So far, we've laid the historical groundwork and heard some intriguing whistleblower testimonies. Now, let's turn our gaze towards the tantalizing topic of technology. If the Phantom Unit exists, what kind of tools and gadgets are they using? Are these technologies products of human ingenuity, alien influence, or a blend of both? Grab your thinking caps, because we're about to dive into the mind-bending world of advanced tech. Let's kick things off with cloaking devices. Remember the stories from John Ramirez and Captain Helen Masters? Both hinted at operatives who seemed to appear and disappear at will, almost as if they were invisible. Cloaking technology has been a staple of science fiction for decades, but what if it's more than just fiction? Researchers in optical camouflage have made significant strides, using metamaterials to bend light around an object. Theoretically, this could render someone invisible. The implications for military operations are staggering, and it's not a huge leap to imagine the Phantom Unit having access to an advanced version of such technology. Next up, we have telepathic communication. Yes, you heard that right. Mind-to-mind talking. This isn't just the stuff of comic books. Projects like the Stargate project explored the potential of remote viewing and telepathy with some degree of success. Now imagine if this research continued in secret. Theoretically, telepathic communication could be facilitated through brain-computer interfaces, BCIs, where neural signals are translated into data that can be transmitted to another person. While we're still in the early stages of BCI development, it's plausible that a covert unit like the Phantom Unit could have access to far more advanced versions. Then, there are the energy weapons. Think about zero-point energy, a concept popular in both scientific and fringe circles. Zero-point energy refers to the lowest possible energy that a quantum mechanical system may have, supposedly harnessable for limitless power. If the Phantom Unit has figured out how to tap into this energy source, they could wield weapons with unimaginable power and precision. These weapons might leave no conventional trace, adding to the mystery and confusion surrounding their use. Let's not forget the possibility of extraterrestrial technology. There's a theory that much of our modern tech advancements, from microchips to fiber optics, are derived from reverse-engineered alien tech. The Roswell incident, Area 51, these are hotbeds of speculation about alien tech being hidden from the public. If the Phantom Unit has access to such technology, it would explain their seemingly supernatural capabilities. Anti-gravity devices, faster-than-light travel, or even time manipulation. These could be within their reach. Now, before we get too carried away, let's consider the skeptical perspective. Could these technologies simply be the result of classified human research? The Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, DARPA, has been known to work on cutting-edge technology that often seems like science fiction. From autonomous drones to advanced robotics, DARPA projects push the boundaries of what's possible. It's entirely feasible that the Phantom Unit is using DARPA-developed tech, cloaked in secrecy and surrounded by rumors of the paranormal, to deter prying eyes. So, are we dealing with alien influence, advanced human science, or a mix of both? The jury is still out. But one thing's for sure. If the Phantom Unit exists, they possess capabilities far beyond our current understanding. And this leads us to our next question. How are these technologies used in the field? In our next segment, we'll examine specific missions and operations attributed to the Phantom Unit. We'll look at incidents where their unique capabilities might have been deployed, leaving behind a trail of mystery and speculation. Stay with us as we continue to unravel the secrets of the Phantom Unit. We've explored the historical roots and potential technologies of the Phantom Unit. Now, let's dive into the heart of the matter. Specific missions and operations that hint at the presence of this elusive group. These case studies span various conflict zones and scenarios, each dripping with intrigue and shadowed by secrecy. Let's start with Operation Red Moon. This operation reportedly took place in the early 2000s in Afghanistan. According to unverified reports, a special forces unit was ambushed by Taliban fighters in a remote mountain region. Just as the situation seemed dire, an unidentified group of soldiers, believed to be the Phantom Unit, appeared. Witnesses claim these operatives moved with uncanny precision, seemingly anticipating the enemy's every move. What's more, they reportedly used energy weapons that left no visible wounds but incapacitated the insurgents instantly. The ambushed unit was sworn to secrecy, and the operation was never officially documented. But whispers among the military community suggest it was a rescue mission by the Phantom Unit. Next, let's look at the mysterious disappearance of Flight NH-370. In 2014, the world was captivated by the disappearance of a Malaysian Airlines flight. While official investigations point to various theories, some insiders believe the Phantom Unit was involved. The theory posits that the plane was intercepted due to a high-value target or cargo on board that required immediate extraction. Advanced cloaking technology and precise tactical maneuvers could have allowed the Phantom Unit to make the plane disappear from radar and public knowledge. While this theory is highly speculative, it highlights the lengths to which some believe the Phantom Unit's capabilities extend. Another fascinating case is the Battle of Los Angeles in 1942. During this infamous event, anti-aircraft artillery fired into the skies over Los Angeles in response to an unidentified flying object. Despite thousands of rounds being fired, nothing was brought down, and no enemy aircraft were recovered. Some theorists suggest this incident was an early encounter with the Phantom Unit, possibly testing or demonstrating advanced aerial technology. Could it have been an early foray into utilizing extraterrestrial tech, or a covert operation cloaked in mystery? It's hard to say, but the incident remains a tantalizing piece of the puzzle. Let's also consider the case of the Skinwalker Ranch. This infamous site in Utah is known for its paranormal activity, including UFO sightings, strange creatures, and inexplicable phenomena. According to some accounts, the Phantom Unit has been deployed to investigate and contain these occurrences. The ranch's history of government involvement, with agencies like the Defense Intelligence Agency conducting studies there, adds credence to the idea that a special operations group could be working behind the scenes. Reports of advanced surveillance equipment, unmarked helicopters, and sudden military-like interventions support the theory that the Phantom Unit is actively engaged in managing paranormal hotspots like Skinwalker Ranch. Finally, there's the enigmatic tale of the Rendlesham Forest incident in 1980, often dubbed the UK's Roswell. U.S. Air Force personnel stationed at RAF Woodbridge reported encountering a UFO in the forest. The official narrative suggests it was a series of misidentified lights, but some accounts hint at a deeper mystery. Rumors persist that a covert group, potentially the Phantom Unit, was deployed to investigate and secure any extraterrestrial technology or beings. Witnesses recall strange beings, advanced craft, and a level of military secrecy that suggests something beyond the ordinary was at play. So, what do these case studies tell us? While concrete evidence remains elusive, the patterns of mystery, advanced technology, and unmarked operatives suggest there might be more to the story than meets the eye. These operations, shrouded in secrecy and speculation, paint a picture of a group capable of extraordinary feats, whether through human innovation, alien tech, or supernatural means. In our final segment, we'll explore the spiritual and religious dimensions of the Phantom Unit. Are there connections to religious organizations or influences of demonic forces? Join me as we venture into the realms of the divine and the demonic, seeking answers to the profound mysteries that lie at the heart of the Phantom Unit. As we delve deeper into the enigma of the Phantom Unit, it's time to explore a realm where the supernatural intersects with the spiritual. The possibility that this elusive unit might be involved with religious organizations or influenced by demonic forces. This segment promises to be as chilling as it is fascinating. So keep your minds open and your wits sharp. Let's begin with the idea of spiritual warfare. Throughout history, the concept of battling unseen forces has been prevalent in many religious traditions. From the biblical accounts of angels fighting demons to modern-day exorcisms, the belief in spiritual combat is deeply ingrained in our collective psyche. It's not a huge stretch to imagine that a covert military unit might engage in such battles, especially if they believe that demonic influences are real and pose a threat to national or even global security. Take, for instance, the Vatican's secretive investigations into demonic possessions and exorcisms. The Vatican maintains a group of specially trained exorcists who deal with cases of possession and other supernatural phenomena. Now, imagine if some of these religious experts were to collaborate with a military unit, providing insights and techniques for combating demonic forces. There are rumors that certain operations conducted by the Phantom Unit have been done in tandem with religious organizations, utilizing ancient rituals and sacred artifacts to counteract dark forces. One particularly chilling case involves a remote village in Eastern Europe where locals reported a series of brutal, unexplained deaths. The Vatican dispatched an exorcist, but local authorities also noted the presence of what appeared to be elite soldiers operating in the shadows. According to some sources, the Phantom Unit was involved, using a combination of military precision and religious rites to confront what they believed to be a demonic entity terrorizing the village. The situation was resolved quietly, and any official records remain classified, but whispers of the event persist in the region's folklore. Now, let's consider the possibility of demonic influences within the Phantom Unit itself. Could some of their advanced capabilities be the result of dark pacts or otherworldly bargains? This idea might seem far-fetched, but historical accounts of warriors seeking supernatural aid are not uncommon. From Viking berserkers invoking the spirits of animals to samurai engaging in spiritual purification rituals, the line between the sacred and the profane has often been blurred in the quest for power. There's a theory that some members of the Phantom Unit might have undergone rituals to enhance their abilities, rituals that could be interpreted as summoning or binding demonic entities. These dark practices could provide them with enhanced strength, speed, or even psychic abilities at a cost. The ethical and spiritual ramifications of such actions are profound, raising questions about the true nature of the power they wield. Finally, let's examine the role of religious artifacts and sacred sites in the Phantom Unit's operations. Throughout history, sacred relics have been sought after for their supposed supernatural properties. The Ark of the Covenant, the Holy Grail, and the Spear of Destiny are just a few examples of items believed to possess incredible power. If the Phantom Unit has access to such artifacts, it could explain some of their seemingly miraculous capabilities. Consider a rumored mission in the Middle East, where the Phantom Unit reportedly secured an ancient relic believed to have the power to control the weather. According to local legend, this artifact was used to quell a violent sandstorm, allowing a critical military operation to proceed unhindered. Whether this story is true or simply a myth, it illustrates the potential interplay between sacred objects and military strategy. So, what does all this mean? The possibility that the Phantom Unit operates at the intersection of military precision, advanced technology, and spiritual warfare is both fascinating and unsettling. It challenges our understanding of reality and forces us to consider the profound implications of a world where the sacred and the profane collide in the shadows. As we wrap up this deep dive into the mysteries of the Phantom Unit, remember that truth is often stranger than fiction. Whether these stories are based in reality or are elaborate myths, they serve to expand our horizons and fuel our curiosity about the unknown. In our final segment, we'll bring everything together and reflect on the impact of these revelations on individuals and society. Stay with us as we conclude our journey into the enigma of the Phantom Unit. listeners, a deep dive into the shadowy world of the Phantom Unit. From historical foundations and whistleblower testimonies to advanced technologies and spiritual warfare, we've explored the many facets of this enigmatic group. Whether you're a skeptic or believer, these stories undoubtedly provoke thought and stir the imagination. So, what can we take away from all this? First, it's clear that the boundaries between the known and the unknown are more fluid than we often realize. Military history is rife with examples of blending the conventional with the extraordinary. And as we continue to uncover new information, we must remain open-minded yet discerning, willing to question and explore while demanding evidence and rational analysis. For individuals, these stories can inspire us to look beyond the surface and consider the vast possibilities that lie hidden in our world. For society, they remind us of the importance of transparency and the dangers of unchecked secrecy. As we move forward, let's strive to balance curiosity with critical thinking, ensuring that our pursuit of truth is guided by both wonder and wisdom. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the mysteries of the Phantom Unit. If you enjoyed today's episode, please take a moment to like, share, and review the podcast. Your support helps us reach more curious minds and continue our quest to explore the strange, the cryptid, the paranormal, and beyond. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. If you have any thoughts, questions, or stories of your own, feel free to reach out to me on social media or through our website. I love hearing from listeners and sharing your insights and experiences. Until next time, keep your eyes open, your mind curious, and remember, the truth is out there, just waiting to be discovered. Stay safe, stay curious, and keep broadcasting those seeds of wonder.
I got bad thoughts that make my mind scared. Hold me hostage and they don't fight fair. Who gon' pray for me and wipe all my tears? Who gon' save me if you not right here? Move this darkness and make my sight clear. Take me your way cause I don't like here. Ghosts of my past, they filling the night air. Wake me up, I'm trapped in my nightmares. Wake me up, I'm trapped in my nightmares. Drowning, I'm off the deep end. Apparitions of all my demons. All my thoughts are committing treason. All alone, who gon' hear me screaming? Manifestations of my fears. Regrets that stretched out for light years. Can almost touch the light, homie, it's right there. Body free but trapped in my nightmares. Wake me up, don't let me drown. All the lights are fading.